Is a precious natural resource essential for life, and water is the focus of a long-time effort to create a reservoir in northeast Texas. It is a project not without controversy. KLTV7's Bob Hallmark explains.
It was a packed second floor of the Region 8 in Pittsburg as hundreds of interested parties and landowners attended the Northeast Texas Region D Water Planning Group.
Well, it's like saying, you know, I would really like a swimming pool, but I don't want to put it in my backyard. I want to put it in your backyard.
The discussion was a proposed Marvin Nichols Reservoir, a 50-year-old plan which drew concerned officials.
Marvin Nichols Reservoir would be devastating environmentally, economically, and socially.
I believe there are some reservoirs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area currently that's being used for recreation that I would contend should be converted to consumption before you come take land out in northeast Texas.
The reservoir would dam the Sulphur River and used eminent domain to take 200,000 acres from private ownership to be flooded or used for environmental mitigation, and a no-go with landowners.
Our ranch, the Hope Cross Ranch, is 907 acres of cattle and timber, fronts along the Sulphur River, and all of it would go underwater with the current lake plan.
Some of these families have had this land in their family for generations.
This is a bad idea. This is a short-sighted solution to remove 66,000 acres of land underwater.
We are holding those landowners hostage.
Under the plan, 80% of the water would be pumped to the Dallas-Fort Worth region.
Irreversible destruction of land unnecessarily.
Bob Hallmark, KLTV 7 News.
And that plan will be revisited along with other options for water resources at a meeting set to happen in March.